We see how Taliban has brazenly assaulted journalists who were simply doing their job. Samiullah Shamshad, TV journalist who was beaten by the Taliban, his cameras are snatched away, joins us right here. Samiullah, I hope you're doing okay. What happened to you?
Hello, afternoon. Thank you. Situation in Kabul for media and journalists is very strict. After 4 days of taking over of Kabul by Taliban, I went out of the city for making report. The aerial gunfire to our side, and they took our camera and mic and threatened by the deed. They are against freedom of speech in media. When the spokesman of Taliban, Zabiullah Mujahid, talks, he always say they are pro freedom of, but in action, the situation is totally different.
Samiullah, what were you covering at the time when Taliban arrested you and assaulted you?
As yesterday, before during women protest, the Taliban did not allow them to protest against their regime, and they also prevented the media of covering the protest, which is a huge violation of freedom of speech and journalism worldwide.
Well, I'd like to ask you, Samiullah, we understand right now that the Taliban has put a complete ban on any kind of protest. If at all you want to protest, you've got to take prior permission from them. Also give out exact details on what your protest is going to be, what kind of slogans you're going to raise. This is the diktat that's coming. How far is that true?
Yes, sorry, repeat it.
We hear that Taliban has now come up with a new rule that you cannot protest. If you want to protest, then you've got to take prior permission. All right, I'm going to try and patch Samiullah yet again. Samiullah Shamshad there, he's a TV journalist who was beaten by the Taliban. He now, remember, despite all that threat and all the atrocities carried out by the Taliban, you have people in Afghanistan still trying in whatever best way possible to stand up against the atrocities. They are fighting back, they are resisting, but it's only time when the Taliban will take over, because they are men with arms. They're, of course, they've got the terror background. They've extensively muscled their way through the entire country of Afghanistan, killed people who've come in their way, who've questioned their authority. At a time like this, you have journalists who've really gone out of their way to portray exactly what's on streets, to show the protest being carried out by women, to show that on television screens for all of Afghanistan to see and for the international community to watch. But of course, these journalists do not have any freedom to show what's not approved by the Taliban. Taliban needs to be wetting every single report that goes on air, explicitly telling those journalists that if you're going to report anything negative on the Taliban, then be prepared to be reprimanded. And that's exactly what Samiullah Shamshad says, a TV journalist. We've just lost his connection. We're going to try and patch him back again. But Samiullah Shamshad was also one of those journalists who was beaten by the Taliban. Remember, the Taliban has constantly said, at least they're trying to show a very soft, reformed image of themselves, saying that they want a liberal government. They want to ensure that everyone lives in peace and harmony and women get equal rights, and they will not resort to terror or will not terrorize people of Afghanistan. But despite that, we're looking at one after the other fresh rules, regulations, diktats that they're slapping on the country just days after they formed the government.